When they decided to do Time Crash for Children in Need, originally I'd been told that Peter had his whole costume still from when he was the Doctor and that I wouldn't need to do anything. But actually that wasn't quite true. When I actually spoke to Peter, it turned out that he had elements that he wasn't sure where they were, and he thought they were in the loft but wasn't sure he could get into them. But he knew that he didn't have the trousers, definitely. He thought he might have a jacket and he wasn't sure he had a shirt. So my first job really was to find where I could get the trousers from, because obviously they were such an unusual furnishing fabric, and in the time that we were going to do this, which it was very late notice, you don't really have time. There's no way on this earth you could have started printing fabric or stuff like that. And luckily my friends at the exhibition helped me out by saying that they knew there were a pair of trousers at exhibition in Blackpool, which they managed to get out and borrow for me, which was brilliant. The trousers, luckily as well, happened to have been altered for Colin Baker. So actually, because he was slightly larger than Peter Davison was when Peter Davison was younger, they actually fit Peter now. Otherwise they wouldn't have gone near him, and he said so. Also, they did have a jacket, but Peter also had one. They had a hat band, but they didn't have a hat. So I bought a new hat from Jermyn Street, but I did use the original hat band, which I got from the exhibition. I made a shirt from scratch, and we actually had the question marks embroidered on. We copied that from a photograph. And also the sweater we had to make from scratch, and I actually approached a company that specialised in cricket sweaters manufacturing, and they actually copied one for me from a photograph. We used that, and I bought a new pair of shoes because it turned out that really Peter had the jacket, but that was actually all he had that we could use. Also, Peter at the time was in the West End Theatre in Spamalot, so I arranged to meet him in his dressing room, and he said, I have a bit of time between the end of Act 1 and the beginning of Act 2, so pop in then and we'll try the costume on. So literally in the 15-minute break where he had time, I took in all the costume and we tried the whole lot on in his dressing room for Spamalot. And then we saw him a few days later on set dressed as the Doctor. The celery came from the art department. I think it worked quite well. Altogether it was great and it was quite successful, and I think, it was as close as we were going to get in. All I can say is thank goodness that we managed to have those trousers, because without those I'd have been stuffed.